as was January the 6th, the week of the prophecy for 2012 concerning conflict in the Sudan area. And I remember on our YouTube channel, Theodore Michelle, we gave a prophecy concerning a war coming to the Sudan area. And the emphasis was a lot that we need to pray for Southern Sudan and the Northern Sudan, and especially the area of the north of Sudan. I remember I said on that prophecy that there was going to be conflict in Sudan. I said, I don't know what it is, but it seems like there's a conflict coming there. And I asked people to pray. Well, it's all over the news right now. Southern Sudan and Northern Sudan are in a terrible conflict that is threatening to drive them back to war. And what is the role of the prophetic voice in issues like this except to warn the people to pray? You see that there's power in prayer. When Christians cry out to God, God hears them. If my people, if his people cry out, he will hear them. And so when we brought out this prophecy, and remember, go back to 2012 prophecy and listen to all of it, all right? Because we are seeing now the Sudan. That was the first beginning of the prophecies that I gave, that we should pray for Sudan as a nation. We are seeing that happening right now. There's war and conflict that has engulfed the nation of Northern Sudan and Southern Sudan. All right, let's go watch the prophecy, and then when we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about our role as the church and the prayer that we need to offer. That was January the 6th of 2012. And now let's see the prophecy come to pass. You have heard it. It's been emphasized. Pray for the Northern and South Sudan. I see trouble coming there. Pray for them. And the emphasis was pray for the northern side. And I repeated that in this prophecy. And so let's hear that again.
In Northern Sudan, I don't know what's going to happen there, but I've seen a tribal clashes. I've seen such a destruction, such slaughtering going on. There's going to be a fight. I don't know whether it's a fight or the ethnic violence between the north and the south. But this is going to be so much affecting the northern side of Sudan. So I'm asking some of you who know how to pray and go on your knees, pray for Northern Sudan, all right, for Christians there, pray for them. And also pray for Southern Sudan.
The border with Sudan, and there were Antonov planes, also MiGs, flying high up above, and the South Sudanese were using artillery to respond to them. Now, this is an area rich in oil, and since January, the South Sudanese have stopped oil production, they say, because of a dispute between Khartoum. But what is clear from reporting in this area in the last week or so, that the tensions are rising between the two sides.
On the town of Heglig, days after South Sudanese troops captured it, there's been heavy fighting over the disputed border town, which accounts for half of Sudan's oil production.
Bombings and bedding. This is clearly an army that intends to stay put. The airport and this crucial oil installation are now under Juba's control. This site produces more than half of Khartoum's entire oil output. Right now, there's nothing coming out. It's been shut down. Sudan has the backing of the United Nations and the African Union. Internationally, Heglig is recognized as Khartoum's territory. But Juba won't even use the name Heglig, referring to the area as Alim. It insists that this region has always belonged to the south.
There is nothing called guerrilla war here. It's a war between two states, and if such a war breaks out, Kenya here, you'll be very uncomfortable. You'll not sit comfortable here. Uganda will be affected, Ethiopia will be affected, Eritrea will be affected, DRC will be affected, our whole region will be affected.